Good morning, you guys. I bought some new tissue cultures. I don't know what came over me. I just decided to get some to experiment. So I have 4 here. I'll show you what they are. And I also figured I would give you an update on a tissue culture that I haven't really shared. I have mentioned it before, but I've been growing this since September of last year. I was going to show you the progress of this one from like start to, I don't know, even up to a year journey, but I feel like I'm going to scratch that because this guy is so freaking slow. It could be just this specific type of alocasia that I decided to do, but because it really hasn't done a whole lot, I figured, you know what, I'm just not going to worry about that. So I'll insert some of that footage while I talk about this one. I've had good experience with tissue culture and I've had bad experience with tissue culture, specifically more so with alocasia on the bad side, that I just don't like how slow they are. But I have had good experiences with like Monstera, and the only other tissue culture that I've bought and deflasked on my channel was a couple Monstera. I did a banana tree, a variegated banana. I did an anthurium, which I still have in my collection, and I'm trying to think what else. I haven't done a whole lot of tissue culture stuff, so I just wanted to experiment with some more. Oh, and the Bulbasaur was my most recent one that I'm doing with you guys. So I have 4 to deflask today and set up, and then we'll go ahead and talk about this one and give you an update and how like this guy is doing. So the 4 that I bought these from Orange Lake, and I bought these on March 15th, and it's the end of March currently, so this is my order slip. And this one here, this is what prompted me to place this order. It's another Monstera. It's a lemon pom-pom, Monstera deliciosa lemon pom-pom, and I don't know why I decided to get this. I guess I just liked the name. I thought the name was really cute, and I liked that the lemon, I guess it's more of a lighter shade of yellow compared to Monstera aurea, but that's what that one looks like. And my specimen, I actually got a really good one. Like that half moon, if you know anything about me and variegated plants, I love like big chunky variegation. So that's what mine came to me as. Whoops, I meant to turn this around so that you could actually see it a little bit more. So that's the first guy. That one I'm really excited for. And then while I was browsing their site, I decided to throw a few extras. So this is the banana, but it's the pink, Musa No Pink. And the reason I got this one is I thought the pink would be really pretty. I've been obsessed with pink plants lately, so anything pink. And so the variegated banana, the white one, I got from them. I think I did that one at least over 2 years ago, probably 3, because it's been outside now for a couple winters. So that one I actually planted outside, and it grew huge last summer, and then every winter it dies back, and so it died back this winter again, but it's starting to sprout. So I'll grow this one outside, but I'm excited to see if the pink will come in. You can't see any pink on it right now. It looks white, but hopefully as it grows here, I'll get some pink. From what I remember, the variegated banana grew so fast from tissue culture, so this one I feel like is going to do really well. It does have a little bit of rot on the roots, so hopefully it'll grow in some new ones here, and you know, it does fine. I've actually had so far 100% success rate on deflasking tissue cultures. Obviously I haven't done a whole lot, but they all have made it. And then I decided to get another alocasia. I don't know why, because I really don't like TC alocasias. I was just on there browsing. I'm like, you know what, I'm gonna go ahead and add it. It's a variegated Tanderusa, or Jacqueline is the other name for it. And it's the like yellow variegation. So I can see a little bit of variegation. It's hard to tell because it's so small, but I figured I would give it a go and see how it does. That is that one. And then the last one I got is a variegated anthurium, but this is a variegated dark phoenix tissue culture. And I wanted a variegated one because I'm curious how a variegated anthurium will do out of tissue culture. From what I heard, I don't know if this is true or what other people have experienced, but I heard the variegated anthuriums aren't that stable. So I'll have to see. I'm going to give it a go and see how it does. I can't really see any variegation because it's so small. But we'll see. So that is the 4 tissue culture new ones that I got. And then before we go to deflast those, I'll give you an update and talk about this one. I actually brought some water because I need to water this guy. So this one here is a Watsoniana, and it's supposed to be a glossy pink albo. And then this I deflast, I can't say that, on 9/28/25. So September of last year, end of September. So October, November, December, January, February, March. We're almost into April. So this is over 6 months now that I've been growing this guy. So this one here is still in a tiny pot. And I wanted to upsize it last month, but I held off because the root system is still so small on this guy. I decided to leave this in the tree fern and cocoa coir, like perlite mixture, just for extra airflow and aeration and everything. But even like lifting up, I can tell it's not super rooted yet. And the reason why I wanted to upsize it is so that it wouldn't dry out as fast, especially in my hot rooms. That's the only issue. And I think this one just grows more slow. It had a few original leaves and those of course all died off. And this one here is probably going to go. And the latest one is here. It's definitely not pink. I wouldn't consider this pink albo. It's definitely muted, which I typically don't like this type of variegation. I don't like the muted where you can hardly see it. And it is working on a new leaf finally. It's been sitting a 2-leafer like this for months. The deflasking, I set it up like how I normally do. I can't remember all the footage exactly because I had taken a few clips and I wasn't sure I was even going to make this video about this plant. But since I have the clips, I'll just kind of insert, you know, some of the footage I took. But yeah, I deflasked it like normal, deflask. And then once it kind of outgrew the seedling tray, I like to start them in something like this so it can hold in more humidity. And these are nice because it has the ventilation hole so you can actually ventilate after a week or so to start acclimating them to more room conditions. So I had it in one of these for a while and then it outgrew it. And so from there I had potted it up and I felt like it did okay for a while and then it just kind of slowed, like it would lose leaves. And it's probably more like an underwatering thing more than anything, but it's not corming yet. It's still like very shallow, very tiny root system. And this one's getting super ideal conditions. It's in this really warm room. I have it in the Rhode in here. It gets decent humidity and it's really close to grow light, so it's getting like pretty optimal care and it's still growing pretty slow for me. I water this probably at least once a week, sometimes twice a week. Like this is the second time I'm watering it this week because I watered this guy on Tuesday and it was pretty much dry again. I still really like him and you know, I do hope I get some more growth. It's just I'm not in love with this variegation. I would prefer a more pinky type variegation. And yeah, I just feel like the root system is very, very shallow. And again, it's not corming, which is something that I, of course, want with my alocasias. But yeah, that is the update on that. The other tissue culture alocasia that I have is a Capria. It's like a marbled pink. And I've had that one even longer than this one. And it's still very small. I actually recently moved it out of pond because it really wasn't doing well in pond and I moved it to this mix. So that's just my experience with the TC alocasias. My Monstera Flame from TC is huge now. And like I said, the Anthurium did well, the variegated banana did well. All right, so for the tissue cultures, I actually don't have any distilled water on hand. And I normally use distilled, which you probably should. I don't recommend using tap, but I don't feel like going out and getting a bottle of distilled. So I'm gonna use my tap water and add a drop of hydrogen peroxide when I go to get the agar off the root system. And I'm just going to clean them really good. Really, you want to use distilled so you don't get any like fungus and stuff to grow, but I'm going to use tap. I have a couple bowls here and then a little paintbrush. makeup brush to get the stuff off, and then we'll get them planted in here. I'm gonna leave them in here growing because they're sterile, so there's no pests or anything like that. I'll just set them up in a seedling tray, and then yeah, I can give you updates over time. I imagine it's going to be a couple months really before they really start to do anything. I like projects though. I like growing. I love experimenting and growing plants out, but more or less I'm just curious how these guys do, because like I said, I don't really experiment a lot with tissue culture. So yeah, let me add some water in these bowls. Of course, I knew that was gonna happen. And this is a spray bottle, so I'm just gonna do a spray, a spray of hydrogen peroxide. Don't do as I do. I think I'm just going to open these all up together and dump them in here and clean them at the same time. This one is the Alocasia. So these arrived a couple days ago. I've had them kind of getting acclimated to my environment before I mess with these. I wanted to go ahead and get this done because I'm gonna be busy for the next several days and I'm not gonna have time to deflask these. So I'm making myself do it this morning. This is the banana. I think I'm most excited, yeah, for the Monstera and then this pink banana, if it grows well. Banana. Just plopping them all in here. I'm not expecting much from the variegated anthurium at all, or the alocasia. I'm expecting those to do the worst. The anthurium, so little. And this one I'm really excited for. Monstera pom-pom. I think lemon pom-pom. I think the name is so cute. I more so got this one because I'm curious how the variegation does compared to Monstera aurea, because I know that one yellows. Like mine, the tissue is so thin that it just browns, not yellows. It browns frequently. I haven't really heard of this Monstera yet, so I don't know like if anyone's grown it out and how it does compared to Monstera aurea. Ooh, how exciting. Pull up. Yeah, and this is the boring part, just getting all this stuff off. Oh, we got a leaf already that broke. What the heck? Ugh, a leaf on the banana. I didn't even do anything. It just like broke off. Oh well. Oh, interesting. The alocasia has, I mean, it looks like roots, but then it looks like it could be cormy, like little corm spikes. What the heck? That's interesting. The banana looks kind of dark on the bottom. Okay, yeah, so I'm just gonna get these clean, get that jelly off the root system, and then I'll plop them in here and like swish them around one more time, and then I'll come back and when I'm ready to plant them. All right, I am back. So we got our dirty water bowl. I'm gonna set that aside. And then these guys here are all clean. Another leaf is coming off the banana. What the heck? Why is it doing that? Do you see that? Okay, this one clearly is losing leaves. It's got one leaf left. Let's hope it stays on. That one, the Monstera, and the anthurium. Okay, here's another look. Monstera. It's got one long little root there. Alocasia. The anthurium. And then the banana that's left with one little leaf. Okay, for the seedling tray, I'm using tree fern and cocoa coir with perlite. And there's some bark and stuff in here too, but it's mostly tree fern and cocoa coir. I'm going to just pick 4 little slots here. Okay. And then just plant them. The little monstera is so cute. I will most likely let these hang out in here for probably 2 to 3 weeks, give or take. I'm gonna leave the vent holes closed for about a week to 10 days and then start acclimating them. And then by then they should start growing in some nice little roots, and I'll probably have to transfer them into their own little pots at that point, but we'll see here. 2 down, 2 to go. Let's do the banana here. And the anthurium over here. All right, now we need to give these guys a little bit of water. Trying to get some of the dirt off the leaves. I'll just have to label them, as we have the monstera and the anthurium in the back, and then we have the alocasia and the one-leaf banana here. Actually, I don't need to label them, because what I'll do is my order slip that has the names, what I'm going to do is just tape this. Oh, no, what? I'm not going to tape it because that'll get messy. I'm just going to cut the order slip. Oh, I want the... No, I don't. That's fine. So I'm going to write 3/29D for Deflask. That's the date that I did this. And I'm just going to stick this in an empty tray here. That way I have all the names and everything. And then let's get our lid put on. And we're going to close that up and get this stuck under grow lights. And this should retain pretty good humidity in here. We're going to slide this right down there so I can keep an eye on them. So what I'll probably do is when it's time to pot those up, I'll make a separate video and pot them up with you and transfer them and give an update at that point. So it could be a month from now, it could be 6 weeks, it could be longer. It depends on when I get around to it, but it's kind of like a sit and forget type of thing. I just sit them there. I'll start lowering the humidity in about a week to 10 days. And if the mix, it can dry out very quickly in here because this room gets like 82, 83 degrees Fahrenheit over summer. And it's already starting to get warm here. So it gets very warm in here. So that mix might dry out. I'll have to keep an eye on that. But I'll just like add a little bit of water so it can like bottom water if that happens. But they should do fine, crossing my fingers. Hopefully the not using distill doesn't cause any weird fungus or anything to happen or rot. And yeah, that wraps up today's video. I really just wanted to do this more so just out of curiosity to see how well they do over time, because I feel like I don't really get to experiment with them a whole lot. And it's always fun for me to see them grow out and share with you guys my thoughts and just share like updates on how they do from like where they started to, for example, my Monstera Flame, for those of you that watched that journey from when I deflasked it to the plant that it is today is crazy to think about. how little it once started. It started as one of these. I hope you enjoyed today's video though, and found it somewhat enjoyable. I just wanted to get the process started on these guys, and I figured I would just share the journey in case any of you are curious about TC or like long-term growth of getting them and growing them out, and if I notice like any differences between a specific genus, I guess. To me, I'm noticing a difference with Alocasia, but that's just my experience. But anyway, thank you again so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one.